I reported a couple of days ago that the IBF have ordered Anthony Joshua to face his mandatory challenger Joseph Parker by no later than January 9th, 2017. But his promoter Eddie Hearn has come out in an interview with the Daily Mirror, a newspaper in the UK, and he said that they might not fight Joseph Parker before January 9th, and they may just fight him in February or March. I cannot reconcile these two positions, people. How can the IBF be saying that you have to face him by January 9th, and Eddie Hearn be showing a seemingly flagrant disregard for the IBF's mandate and saying, nah, we'll just put it off until February or March? What's going on here? Is this part of Eddie Hearn's quote-unquote special relationship with the IBF that a lot of people have accused him of having? This ain't on. Eddie Hearn is saying that if they don't fight Joseph Parker in November or December this year, they'll be looking to face somebody like a Berman Stavern, a Kubrat Pulev, or a Bryant Jennings. All decent level opposition. But the IBF in recent times have been sticklers for their own rules, and I'd like to see them be consistent with that. So I certainly hope they don't allow Joshua to disregard his mandatory and take a different fighter in the meantime. The only way that it would be okay is if Joseph Parker is paid and agrees to accept step-aside money. That does happen. Throughout the entirety of, throughout the course of boxing history, there have been numerous occasions where many of the great fighters have paid step-aside money to a mandatory challenger to allow them to fight somebody else. Mike Tyson famously did it when he regained the world heavyweight title after coming out of prison. His WBC mandatory was Lennox Lewis. He declined to face Lewis and instead paid Lewis step-aside money in a US court. I believe it was about $4 million. And he instead took on Bruce Seldon or Evander Holyfield. It was directly before one of those fights or immediately before one of those fights. So paying step-aside money, it can happen. But whenever you pay your mandatory challenger step-aside money, it's always with the agreement that you face them next. So perhaps they've spoken to the Parker team and said, would you accept step-aside money and allow us to face you in February or March rather than November? Maybe the Parker team are okay with that. I don't know. We'll see what transpires here. If there is no step-aside money paid and the IBF are just bending or breaking their own rules to suit Hearn and Joshua, that's obviously not on. As I say, as consistent as the IBF have been with their rules over the past couple years, they need to stay consistent. No special favors for Anthony Joshua just because he's a cash cow. No special favors for Fast Car. If you've got any more information on this particular story, please drop the links in the comment section below and enlighten us all. If not, then let's speculate here, people. What's going on? Is this a situation where there's going to be step-aside money paid? And also, why would Joshua and Eddie Hearn be looking to delay this mandatory defense against Joseph Parker? Do they feel they need to get more experience under their belt? Do they feel that Joshua's not quite ready? Is it Hearn just being a businessman and saying, you know what, Parker is a dangerous fight? Let me get at least one more lucrative defense of the IBF title out of the way first, make some money before we put Joshua in with Parker, because that's a very risky fight. Is that what Eddie Hearn is thinking? Is it more Hearn trying to delay this mandatory, or is it Joshua? Is Joshua not that confident of beating Parker? It's all speculation right now, but let's chop it up in the comment section, people. I'd be very interested to find out what you guys think of the situation. All right, it's your boy Hatman, I'm out.